Hello, everyone, and we are back with another installment of strategies and things that might help you just live a better life. And so to reintroduce ourselves, let's just do a check-in. How are you each doing?
I'm doing good. All things considered. Started off this week with trying to be healthy. So we were just talking about it, my healthy shake with
Yay.
mixed greens, berries, and some seeds in there.
Oh, good.
Trying to.
Yep.
Trying to.
Yep. How about you, Fala? How are you doing?
You know what? I'm doing well. I'm just, I'm happy to still be back at school. I'm just taking it one day at a time, and I'm just trying to not try to manage the situation, but change my mindset.
Nice. Sounds like that's going to relate to what we're going to talk about.
Yes, because
Yes.
when we're
Yeah. And I'm like you guys. I'm, just trying to doing what I can. Not so much trying to stay positive, but focusing on, okay, what can I do? Rather than sit and just like, be frustrated.
I think it's important that we acknowledge to everybody watching and to ourselves that perhaps things are not okay right now. I mean, overall, like, I'm not necessarily seeing everything as being okay.
Yeah.
I think we've got a lot of negative things happening around us.
I think you're right. I think these are definitely some challenging times
Yeah.
for all of us. But
I
again,
think
as
we
we know,
have-
when we are stressed out, it can lead to negative feelings, us just behaving in negatively ways, like when you have like negative thoughts. So sometimes it's just like Ms.R had said, it's just trying to make the best. What can I do for me, right? And that looks differently for each and every student, right? And we can talk more and go more into that. I think that's really important for us to acknowledge and recognize.
Yeah, things are hard right now for a variety of different reasons for a variety of different people.
And it could be because it's happening again. Right? We thought we were done with this, and it's like, oh, we're back in it again. And that could really do something to the spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And
it doesn't even need to be, the psyche.
Yeah.
Well, it gave me some whiplash. And it doesn't even need to necessarily be COVID related. I think if you yourself are impacted by other things, this whiplash just compounds it, right? So I just thought it was important we acknowledge that we see, we hear, we know, and I mean, I'm feeling it. I don't know if I can't speak for you guys, but I mean, I know I am.
Yes. I have spoken to some students, and they are saying just very low motivational levels, because they're just like, oh, right. Because it's a lot of screen time too for them.
Mm-hmm.
So when we talk about limiting screen time, well, they can't.
Yeah, right now.
Their whole school is through a screen, right? So I'm hearing that motivation levels are just low. And also I'm aware that these times are not giving us anything to look forward to. Right? Like, and that affects the psyche. We don't have, like, people would be like, oh, March break, or typically this would be the end of semester 1 and it'd be exams. And so there'd be some days off. If people had their exams early, they'd have, extra days off, and maybe they go skiing or, go do stuff with friends. And, oh, right. We can't.
I think it's just exhaustion. People have gone from tiredness to lack of motivation to just exhaustion.
Yes.
Just depleted on E.
And I'm glad we're acknowledging it. It's important.
So now that we've named it, what are some things that might work for people. And I just want to remind people that things that we say may work for some, may not work for you. It's not a one size fits all. So part of the whole trial and error of living is figuring out what works for you.
Giving it a go. Yeah. I think a lot of times people might watch videos like this and think that we're being that phrase toxically positive.
What can you explain that? I mean, I understand what you're saying, but for some people who may not.
Yeah. Toxic positivity. So that positive messaging that we get, it's going to be all right. Just change your mindset. Look the other way. Like,
turn that frown upside down.
Just do some deep breathing exercises and count till 100, and you'll be just fine.
All of that without acknowledging the difficulty level, can be really toxic. And so that's why I hope we did a good job of taking the time to acknowledge the difficulty level right now.
Yes, because
we're gonna continue to give coping skills and tips and tricks, but I just think it's important that we're mindful of that toxic positive idea. We can't just give the positive messages without acknowledging the bad, and we have to empathize with the fact that everybody feels it differently, sees it differently, smells it differently.
Yes. and to use that well-known phrase, it's okay to not be okay.
Right. Validation.
Yeah.
Right?
And so where is your starting point? And just being gentle with yourself.
We got to do that first, so that these positive tips and tricks don't come across as being unempathetic or invalidating. I mean, that's all. Just want to highlight that.
I think that's exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so knowing where we're at. Oh, sorry, Fala.
Oh no,
go ahead.
No, I was just saying.
Recognizing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And recognizing as well as
continue.
Recognizing as well as just being patient and kind with yourself, just each and every day. Like sometimes we may not get as many things that we wanted to get accomplished, but again, I think when we're so hard on ourselves, I think it's not helpful. So I think that is the second thing. So recognizing and just being patient and kind, learning to just take it in the moment, one day at a time.
Yeah. And so what are some concrete ways that people would be patient and kind with themselves? Like, it's one thing to say it, but how does that look?
You know what? If you make a mistake, laugh at yourself. Just laugh, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did that, but laugh, not getting down, like, that negative, like I'm so stupid, like, how could I do that? Make a mistake, just kind of like, oh, I'm human, I made a mistake, and just try to just let it go, or if you can't let it go, sit with it for 15, 20 minutes, an hour, but not make it impact your entire day. Kind of sit with that uncomfortableness, right?
Yes. And learn from it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
One thing that I've done actually in my life to help with those negative messaging is I used to say, oh my God, I'm so stupid. I've now changed the word stupid to silly, which is a small, concrete shift.
Yeah.
But when I call myself silly, how much more lighthearted, kind, and compassionate is that word compared to the word stupid? And people say that, oh, I'm so stupid, I can't believe I did that. But now if I say, I'm so silly, I can't believe I did that, it is a really simple, concrete shift, but like even my face looks different when I say it.
Exactly.
And it just changes everything.
It changes the whole messaging that you give yourself. So that's a concrete way of acknowledging a mistake. I'm so silly, I can't believe I did that.
Yeah.
Right?
Excellent. Yeah.
I think doing little things that we enjoy each and every day, like we all have different things that we love to do. Like for me, it's like listening to music, that gives me dancing, just, just kind of, that's what gives me joy, right?
Yes.
Having my nieces and like, I know it's COVID now, but like talking to my nieces and nephews over like video chat and just, just little things. Some people it's maybe exercise. Sometimes for some people it's journaling. Some people's watching their favorite, sitcom, just making space for the little things that give you joy, right? Even though this is COVID, not all is bad, right? Sometimes we can find
Exactly.
those little things that kind of
Exactly. And there was a feature on CBC the other day, and someone was talking about, we talk about gratitude, cultivating gratitude, but this person was saying, what about cultivating joy? Make a list of those things that bring you joy. And it could be little things. Like for me, a nice quiet cup of coffee in the morning before, everyone's awake. It's just, it's that quiet moment that brings me joy. Reading for a bit in my little, reading nook, that brings me joy. Things like that, cultivating joy.
Ms.R, you were also talking about watching what you watch.
Right.
Watching what you listen to as an idea and strategy to combat the
I limit
negativity that's around us. Can you talk about talk about that more?
The news can really trigger a lot of anxiety for me. So I just pick stories that spark joy or humor. If it has a COVID in the headline, I'm not going to access it or look at it. I don't watch news at home on the TV. My husband and I, we don't want that negativity in our home is our safe space. So we don't want that negativity. So it's a matter of limiting what you digest on social media and picking and choosing. And related, I had a friend years ago who gave me this tip, that before you go to bed, watch some funny videos, because it's easier falling asleep after laughing than if you're burdened heavy with the days, like, oh my God, it's COVID and this. Watch something funny. And at the time I was watching the lip sync contest that Jimmy Fallon would do with his guests.
I love that.
And like just watching something funny before you go to bed. Because it's easier to fall asleep when you're, you've been laughing.
Definitely. Exactly. Laughter is so healthy.
Yeah.
Pay attention to how you feel when you're consuming media, radio, whatever's on your Instagram feed, whatever you're reading on Twitter.
Yeah.
And if you're feeling triggered in a negative way, I think that's a really solid sign that it's time to turn it off. And
yes.
I don't think anyone here is talking about like burying your head in the sand and ignoring the fact that there's a world out there that we need to know about. But how much, right? Like
exactly.
And so if you're triggered, if you're feeling triggered, feeling that anxiety feeling sick in your stomach,
or if it's even triggering your fears, your fear of the future, your fear of just fear, then that's I'll say this because of course I'm the chaplain, that's not of God, right? God is about peace and hopefulness. And so we have to pick and choose what's feeding our mental appetites. Yeah.
We have to continue to fill our cup each and every day. That's what's going to help us to ward off stress and any negativity, right? And that's about doing those things, having boundaries, right? In terms of working and school and doing things that we enjoy. It has to be all like a balance, right? That's how every time we fill our cup, we will feel much better. Yeah.
Yes.
And also, I think sorry.
No. You continue your thought.
I also think fresh air is really important, right? Because we're at our computer screens, like inside. And so I think when we do get those breaks, trying to go out to get some fresh air, I think it just makes me feel like for me, it's like sometimes I'll run and get a Starbucks and that just helps me and I come right back in and I just feel like I feel refreshed, right? So sometimes
but do bundle up. We're getting a good dose of Arctic air and it's really, really cold.
I completely agree with going outside, but man, negative
I
sun.
know, but you feel that wind. It's like,
No,
Yes.
you.
you feel that cold on your skin, and you're like,
It's true.
I'm awake.
sensation.
Yeah, I'm awake. I'm awake.
On
I'm
another
awake
day,
now, right?
on another day,
Yeah,
we'll talk about the cold plunges that I
and
do.
I think also in connection, right? Because we're social beings, and I think like being at home.
Oh, we have tech issues with Fala's connection.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to hear what she was going to say.
Finding ways to still connect. Yeah. Yeah, I was just
Yeah.
saying finding ways to connect with
Mhm.
our friends and family. I think it's so important, whether it's
Yes.
like, through the video, just sending a text message, checking in on your friends. I think staying connected is really important for many individuals to help fill their cup, right?
Or even, if it's another video call, but why not play a board game through video? You can play Scrabble, you can do Yahtzee, you can do, different things like that.
Movie night. You can
And
do movie night.
Pictionary.
Yeah, you can do Pictionary. You can even use some of the apps that are out there for some fun stuff like Padlet or, oh gosh, I can't remember
What's the
some of
one
the
Heads
apps.
Up? The one
Oh,
we
you
use?
can do a heads up on, virtually. So it's important to find creative ways to stay connected.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think we've covered a lot of good tips. Hopefully for you watching, one of these will fit you and help you. And until next time, keep on keeping on.
I
Take
wanted
care.
to say keep fit and have fun.
Sure.
We
Yeah.
got this assumption.
Yeah.
We rise together.
Yes. All right. Take care, everyone.
Okay.